Hello and welcome to Magical Marker, a game of Dungeons and Dragons and drawings. We won't just be playing the game, but drawing what happens along the way. Before we introduce the cast, you might be wondering, what the bloody hell is Matt doing the intro and not Brian? It's a bit weird. Well, let me tell you, it's because one of our regular cast members, Boya, is working towards a deadline on the 5th book in their 5 Worlds series, so we thought it would be fun a one-shot game instead of playing on without them. Tonight's game is set in a musketeer-inspired setting, complete with black powder weapons, buckles, and all kinds of swashing. The players are an elite group of individuals that are members of a hand-selected guard titled the Queen's Pride. Now, let's introduce our cast. So please tell us who you are and a couple of sentences about who you are playing. We'll start with Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian, and I'm going to be playing Quarthus, the pachyderm, loxodon, stealthy, sneaky, giant-sized elephant person who has a magical ring that allows them to squirt endless water out of their nose to knock people down like a fire hose.
Excellent. And alphabetically, let's go with Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, and tonight I will be playing Bobo Loco. He is a halfling monk, I guess, but he's kind of like a tavern brawler, and he's real rough and tumble.
Yeah, we're going to kind of hand wave that a monk and do it a bit more tavern brawly. So last and not least,
He fights good.
Yeah, he does the good fights. And last but not least is Priscilla.
I mean, I probably am the shortest, but and my character Suk is also probably the shortest, as she is a kobold, who is a barbarian druid, which I think she's actually more druid than barbarian at the moment, who's come from the Wild Hills to find out what the big city is all about. I've been here for a few years. Likes it very much.
I'm kind of curious about our characters' relative sizes. Brian, are you drawing your character now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I should probably. I'm gonna start by doing the. I guess the underdrawing, so we can sort of get an idea of their proportions.
I will ask.
A little laggy here.
When you do draw, try to keep them away from the corners too much, or at least so they don't flow off the corner, so I can make some good thumbnails from your art later on. I think it's going to be a good game. So before we dive in, I need to ask, after our session 1 last week where we built these characters, which if anyone wants to see that, you can watch that on our YouTube channel. The link is, I think, down below somewhere. Before we begin the adventure proper, do any of you have any last-minute questions before we dive in?
I should probably actually nope, because I made some changes to the character's backstory a little bit after.
Is it what you posted in the Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't actually remember what the changes are, but I know I posted them.
That's okay. I think it's not super relevant to the story tonight. I don't think, but it might come up. But let it be a surprise, and we can kind of talk about it when it happens if we want. So, the other thing I'll note is that we'll be using Roll20 tonight as well for the maps. Because I like using maps, I think they're fun, and I've used assets from a place called 2 Minute Tabletop to build them. I'm pretty sure it's okay to broadcast with them, but I built the maps myself rather than I've used the assets to create something of my own creation. So, and I think that's okay judging resource. From... Yeah, it's so good. Okay. I don't know if anyone else can tell, but my heart's going pretty fast right now. I'm just going to put that out there. So
you got this.
You got this.
We're all rooting for you.
Yeah.
I'm okay to sit in the background. What's that? Sorry.
I was trying to like do a sort of like level 5 across the screens,
Oh,
but I don't think we're
wait,
doing them the same way.
I'm up there.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, okay. Wait.
Which side? I'm on the other side. Is it that
Right.
side or the other side?
yeah, so if I go like that, bam, and then Priscilla's above me.
Yeah. Okay, so I'd have to go like this, and it's also mirrored. Anyway.
It's different from
Yeah.
the Zoom. I'm looking at
Yeah.
the broadcast. So I have us in
Yeah.
different locations. Anyways, so we begin the story in media res. We open on a garden filled with a dazzling array of fauna and flora. Flowers and animals from every corner of the continent in vibrant colors. A wrought iron table sits upon the lawn underneath a gazebo, and the two tables are set up nearby. One has a delicate morning tea, and the other an almost raw array of meats. Two women sit by the table, across from each other, talking between themselves. Sometimes heatedly, other times quietly, but it is civil for the most part. One is, in fact, your queen. I'm going to put her picture up on the Agio.
Ooh.
There she is. And that's working. It's going out on the stream for once. That's great.
Yay!
Yes, so one is your queen, and the other one, the namesake of your contingent, and the other is a full-blooded orc woman. Her scorn is worn as decoration as much as the lion pelt across her shoulders. Both worn as an insult and honorific for the hosting dignitary by the orc ambassador. And I will put up a picture of that as well. I'm just going to drag them to the top.
Nice.
I did. Yeah. I think you guys can see them okay. And I think they're going out on the stream.
So is this an insult or an honorary thing to wear a lion's pelt to meet with a lion?
Both. It is an intimidation tactic as well as we consider you worthy of insulting or provoking. We want to prove to you that we aren't afraid of you. Which in turn also means that they are kind of sort of afraid of you. But it's very much the way I consider it is it's like the Maori haka. It is a display of intimidation in a lot of ways, but it's also like done for to intimidate, but to show that like you're willing to try and intimidate, like they're worthy of being intimidated. And I'm doing a very poor job of explaining this, by the way. But it's for her to show up wearing a lioness pelt at that is both
Provoking.
an insult, provoking, but also extremely the word I used, honorific. Like it's very cool. Like it's very Anyway, I've spent enough time trying to explain my words because I don't know what they are. Other guard members spread out around the grounds, including yourselves, keeping an eye out for any trouble, while the Orc Ambassador has a contingent as well, which are at still a respectful distance, a group of Orc warriors, giant muscled peoples with giant hunks of metal strapped across their back. This is as close as they get to formal attire. So I'm going to chuck you guys onto the garden's map in Roll20. You can see what's going on, and I will put that up on stream. There we go. So this is where we are. It's a big open field. There is a little greenhouse on this cobblestone road, as well as lines of flowers heading towards that gazebo there. There's a ring of guards, both Orcish and Queen's Pride, around the gazebo. And there are servants that bring trays of food from the 2 tables here down to the dignitaries themselves. This is more or less as you see it as well, like the way it's set up. If you have any questions about any of this, please let me know. Do my best to describe it a bit better. It is facing towards...
Are we stationed in any specific space?
Well, it's a good question. Where do you think you would be? Your commander, a woman by the name of Amanda, has said, you're part of the contingent guarding the Queen today. It's going to be an easy gig. All you have to do is, make sure no one kills each other, which I'm pretty sure they're not going to do that. But, in case things go south, you're there as our first line of defense. It's generally accepted that you wouldn't be standing right next to the Queen because, well, there are specific rules to follow, decorum and all that sort of stuff. But you know what? I will reveal to you it's under the gazebo because now that you know it's there.
Oh.
Yeah, be around any of the rings, and then all the way over to the right, it's facing an open wooded area, part of the forest. Not that the Queen herself goes hunting there, but it is used as a hunting grounds of sorts, and generally it's patrolled by not Queen's Guard, but members of the Guard. And you think that this spot was chosen because that's the most wild-looking part of the gardens themselves, possibly to help the Orcish contingent here feel a little more at home.
All right. Well, Bobo is going to be what's it called? The perimeter. Keeping an eye on the perimeter.
Okay.
What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Patrolling?
Perimeterizing.
Sounds
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I assume all of the green-skinned icons are orcs, or the orc.
Yeah, if you do zoom in, you'll be able to see the green skin, red-headed, and then there's 2 different types there. There's the big brutish one, and then a little bit of a thinner one.
Securing the perimeter.
Yeah.
That's what Bobo
In that
is.
case, Suk is probably on the southern side of that little path. Basically, just trying to space it so there's always a Queen's Guard Pride member somewhere between every other orc or so.
Yeah, okay.
So.
And the orcs themselves are quite vigilant. They're not paying attention to the proceedings at all. They're just kind of keeping an eye on the surroundings, keeping an eye on the other Pride members, including yourselves. But there's an understanding here that you are, you're both here to guard these proceedings. Pretty sure nothing's going to happen, but you never know. It is a D&D adventure after all.
So with that in mind, can I have done a check beforehand, to find out was there any word on the street about there being any trouble? Is somebody coming to hurt our chances of peace? Is somebody going to try and assassinate the orc? Is somebody going to try and assassinate the Queen? Have I heard anything before today?
Sure, that's a good point. Okay, so a retroactive roll. I guess that could be one of many things. Could be persuasion, deception, intimidation, possibly investigation, but it would have to, you'd have to sell it
Charisma
to
investigation?
Me. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Charisma, unless you're breaking into someone's house and looking around. But we'll see how the first roll goes.
I'm going to do charisma investigation. Oh, natural 1. So
Oh, no.
I told somebody who wasn't aware that there was a meeting that there was a meeting.
You heard anything
Louis.
about this?
The orcs coming? Oh, no, haven't heard anything bad about that.
And then as soon as you finished, you were like, damn it, God. But yeah, no, you've not heard of anything that is would be a potential threat to the Queen or the Orc Ambassador. In fact, other Pride members had done exactly what you had done, made sure that there was no plots or anything happening like in the works.
Do we know what they're meeting about? Did you explain that already?
No, I had not. So this country is that you're in, which I made up a name for it. Probably be helpful. The city name is Bouloc, Boullac. Very French sounding name. You're welcome. It's not going to be hard to pronounce on stream at all. I can't even pronounce it properly. So, and that's like the country name as well as the city name that you're in. I know I said it wasn't like Rome, but hey, here we are. It's the country isn't the size, like the city is not the size of the country, but like the name of the city is the name of the country. It's anyway, but yeah, it's Bouloc. I don't know if anyone can pronounce French better than I can.
Do you spell it?
Boullac.
Belloc.
So I wasn't too far off. Usually I go with German names for these things because I'm currently studying German and it's much easier for me to try and pronounce, but I went a completely different route with this city, this setting. Yeah, so it's on the easternmost side of the continent. To the north you have an elven civilization, much more shut off from the rest of the world, but they do have trade negotiations with your country and others. To the west, it's pretty like open and wild land, and that's mostly orc-controlled territory. It's so there've been a few raids like across the borders by orc tribes into your country. You know, I might even rename that because I'm having trouble even like trying to get the nerve to pronounce that. But anyway,
Just Bullock?
B-O-U, I don't know. It looked cool and sounded cool when I was choosing it, and now I'm saying it out loud. I'm like, what did I do to myself?
Like a cow. Yeah, Bullock.
Kind of. No. But yeah, let's go with that. Bouloc. Bouloc? Is it double L? Kind of get that like, ugh. Anyway. So yeah, there have been raids across the border, like the sovereign border of your country, by orcish raiding parties, stealing food and supplies and, you know, generally rampaging. So this meeting is to strengthen the bonds between the two countries and try and create a sense of like maybe even like introduce like some trade between them as well. And it's a pretty historic occasion. There's never really been orcs in the city like this before. But things seem to be going pretty well for the most part. This is, you know, a few days into a week-long trip. And yeah.
Oh, so they didn't come to the city, or they came to the city, or did we travel out?
No, this group. So you're currently in the city, on the palace grounds, and yeah, a contingent of orcs has traveled.
It's been a week that they've been here. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Yeah. If anyone is there any sort of checks you want to try and make?
With my giant elephant ears, I want to eavesdrop on what they're talking about.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Anybody want to guess?
Is it
Really?
a 1?
Another natural one.
Oh my goodness.
You're actually deaf.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It's a character trait now.
Your tinnitus kicks in as you open your ear. Do you have another set of dice you want to switch to?
Nope.
Yeah, I thought you just said that those dice have always rolled well for you.
Oh yeah, no, they have. Right now, it doesn't really matter. When it comes down to it, I'll start rolling well.
Yeah.
A listening
All right,
check.
Fair.
Well, Bobo was going to do a perception check with his eyeballs to see if he
Okay.
can see any suspicious movement in the orcs. I think he would be a little suspicious of the orcs, so
Sure.
he's gonna.
I mean,
he's
yeah,
gonna kind of like.
there is a degree of distrust between the two parties, obviously. You know, the histories between the two nations hasn't been great, but
I got an 8.
an 8. Well, actually, can't you lip read, Brian? Isn't that something that your class can do? Or am I?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe I can. Let me double check that.
I thought there was something to do with lip reading, but the snippets you do over here are generally just about trade agreements and policies and all sorts of stuff. And it's the case of like, well, we're not giving up land, and it's like, no, we don't expect you to give up land. It's like, and we just want to stop the killing. And you know, I know it's a different thing for you, but our people aren't like yours and that sort of thing. It's like explaining the different ways of life to the ambassador, but also like trying to come to like some sort of common ground. And
I looked up. I think the closest thing I've got is I'm able to mimic another language, like an accent from another place. So I'm probably
okay.
I've been trying to speak to the orcs with you know, in a way that they speak with each other, trying to ingratiate myself towards them.
Okay. Does anyone speak Orcish, by the way? Did you choose it as a language?
Not I.
Yes, I speak
Yeah.
Orcish.
Okay. So I guess in that regard, you do pick up on a few things said in Orcish between a couple of the people. Like they, as they like kind of one or two group together, and you walk past, or like you see, and they see one of the members move past, and they'll say, you hear like these. They look like weaklings. They look soft. All this like fancy. Well, they're going to use stronger language than I'm going to use, but it's fancy stuff. They wouldn't stand up in a fight.
I'm translating from Orcish, so I wouldn't use those bad words.
Yeah, but this is what you're hearing if you do eavesdrop. But it's there's kind of like the sentiment. There is bad blood, but it's like it's not tipping either way at this point. But generally, the talks seem to be going well. The reports you've read and seen, it's the Queen is making great strides in coming to the common ground with his ambassador. Whether or not they're accepted later on is another question, but they once they take him back to the different tribes and tell them like everything that's going on, like well, what was discussed here. It might be a different story, but the ambassador, who was listening intently but also like arguing back, is seems to be on side with what the Queen is saying.
I want to use my keen smell as a loxodon to smell that food that's over on that table, just in case there might be any poison stuff.
Sure. Can you
So I
help
get
me out with how
an
that...
advantage on that, so
Is it a
I can't
perception
roll
check?
one, right?
Is it a perception check still?
It's up to you.
It feels like it, but I'm not familiar with this keen sense, so I think it's
Oh, it
advantage
just means I get advantage on perception, investigation, or survival checks when I use my smell.
Okay. So yeah, any of those would work. Investigation wouldn't, because you would be approaching the table, because that would seem suspicious. But
I think that's where I put my mini. My mini is right beside the
Oh,
table.
really?
That's where I'm hanging out.
Well then. That changes things.
I put myself closest to the queen that I could get, but still be behind something.
Okay. So that is the Queen's table. The northern one is the Orcish food.
Yeah. Not messing with the
one-
Orcish food.
So what did you roll?
16.
You can't smell anything untoward. Like it smells like, well, that's definitely sweet cake. It's definitely just tea. That's cream. That's some jam. Nothing. You don't smell that tinge of poison that you were expecting to smell. You do get a coppery smell wafting over from the other table, though, with all that not raw but like kind of red meat. It's been cooked barely. The flames barely touched it. That's everything seems normal. Everything seems fine. And you think, oh, I'm just stressing over nothing. What's the deal here?
Yeah, Soup, although she has done guard stuff often enough that she's not actually visibly falling asleep, is definitely super bored. And
Yeah.
while she kind of keeps her eyes on the orcs closest to her, so she's sort of looking at these two southern ones, she is also just like her eyes can sometimes just go a little bit distance as she gets distracted, and like she's kind of squinting because it is daylight and she's out, and so
Because you have a sunlight sensitivity, right?
Yep, yeah. So in this instance, it might help a little bit because she looks like she's sort of mean mugging and very stern, but really she's just having a hard time seeing. And otherwise, she actually looks pretty frou-frou, like most of the orcs have been saying, because she's like dressed in this elaborate shower of lace and just dripping with all the stuff that she can get away with in uniform, if possible.
Something you do over here, Brian, is one of the orcs mentions under their breath to another one that the menagerie of guards they have are as frilly as these peacocks. Something along those lines. It sounds very disrespectful, but you're under strict orders not to provoke, only to defend yourself if needed.
I actually am of the mind that if they're speaking that way, they're feeling nervous. That they're the ones who are uncomfortable, and so that it doesn't bother me at all.
Okay.
But it's better for them to think that we're a bunch of losers who don't know how to fight than for them to be, expecting us to be really strong. And it's better for them to, they're probably actually wondering, maybe they're wondering, are we, how did we get this job? We must actually be good. They can't believe that we get away with wearing these awesome clothes, and they're stuck wearing these stinky jerkins, these leather jerkins with mold on them or whatever.
I mean, they've got nice, some trinkets hanging from their thing, their garb. Like there's some feathers and bones and whatnot. There is some silver and gold too, like trophies they've taken off other warriors, like maybe warriors from your side of the border, but nothing like. I guess there would be a smell wafting from them, but it's just from their armor being worn so much. This is their formal attire.
I just meant compared to us who are perfumed and dandied, anything lower than the musketeer is just normal clothes is unseemly to us.
Okay. So for the first time today, the Queen and the Ambassador both kind of stand up. It seems they're going to take the first of their scheduled breaks. And a lot of the heads turn towards the table as they do. I think what is everyone's passive perceptions, by the way? You can probably look this up in D&D Beyond.
Mine is 15.
14.
So we've got 14 for Priscilla, 15 for Bobo, and
9.
9 for Quarthus.
Yeah, I'm great at investigating, not so good at perceiving.
Okay.
Although I've got advantage if it's smell.
Well, it's not. You have advantage on hearing, though.
You know, I don't understand why they didn't give that to Loxodons, because I have those giant ears.
You can't have advantage on everything.
I know, but like I figured I would get ears ahead of nose. But whatever, I'm not complaining, I'm just surprised.
Maybe elephants have a better sense of smell than they have of hearing. I don't know anything about elephants, really.
Yep,
No,
they're
they've
called
got good
smell
memories. They've got good memories, that's all I know. Except for Quarthus, apparently. So yeah, they stand up and lean across the table and shake hands. And as they stand up, if you hear a bit of murmuring from the servants nearby as they move forward to start clearing the tables. And where they're meeting this afternoon, you're not sure, but they were going to break for a couple of hours to like refresh and that type of thing. Just it's part of the timetable. So yeah, a couple of things happen in quick succession. You hear a twang, and the arrowhead flies kind of over the arm of the queen and strikes the orc ambassador in the upper torso, and she like falls back into the chair with a loud like grunt, like a and the orcs all around like look at the queen and the ambassador. Both are like wide-eyed as like this crossbow is like hit one of them, and it trying to keep the momentum going here, but it's kind of difficult when you run through things, several things at once. So yeah, a few heads swivel in the direction that the arrow came from. And you hear someone shout, "It came from the woods!" And a few of the orcs who understand Common kind of turn their heads in that direction too and start like running towards it as others run towards their ambassador. A few of the Queen's Pride move towards the Queen to start escorting her and the ambassador out of the area. But you have a split second to react. What you want to do?
Well, I'm pretty close to the woods, so I'm also gonna maybe go with the orcs
Okay.
and run up toward the woods. Can I do another perception check
Sure. Give me a perception check real quick.
to see if I can see anyone running back into the woods? 14.
So, I've revealed it on the map, but you can see some rustling and a dark-skinned humanoid figure is in the bushes there, and they begin to run like deeper into the woods away from the thing, and they have a crossbow in hand. And they kind of just like jump over a bush, kind of slip in the mud a little bit, pick themselves up, and just begin running as fast as they can.
I'm going to say, halt!
They pay no attention to you and keep running.
And I'm going to like get my gun ready. I'm going to maybe pull it out or something.
Okay. So I think... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Seeing that the queen appears to be surrounded by a number of the other Pride members, I assume.
Yeah, so
the commander.
basically what I'm going for here is that, like, most of the, like, well, four of the orcs, three of the orcs move in, and this is on the map page.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to move in to protect the queen. Their hands go down to their swords as they look around, and they're ready to pull their steel if need be. And you know, part of your training, you understand that if there is an attempt, like on the life of her or anyone she's meeting with, is to escort them as quickly as possible to a place of safety. In this case, the closest place will be the palace itself, which is it's relatively close, but it's pretty open grounds until you get there. But yeah, it's kind of like sorry, go ahead.
Having heard Bobo also shout "halt" and seeing the orcs starting to get there, I think Sook is going to go and then start taking off towards the wood. And in the midst of it, you see her form lengthen, and like the red starts to go gray and fur go. And in between one jump of the next, she springs forward into direwolf shape.
Oh wow, very cool. So yeah, you see a couple of the heads like swivel in your direction. These orcs, they're a little bit surprised that one of the Queen's Pride would transform in front of them, but they weren't expecting it at all. They seem a bit surprised, but not extremely taken aback. You think that they've seen this sort of magic before. I don't have a direwolf token ready to. I totally forgot that you can change shape for some reason. But that's okay. We can. You're roughly the same size and shape anyway, right?
Direwolves are large. So.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah. Just change the size. That'll be fine.
All right.
How far can I run in this sort of initial round?
Well, I think we should roll initiative. See, as this, as soon as they fired the crossbow, this assailant has turned and started to run into the bush. As you've collected and realized what's happening, and then the orcs have turned and started to chase, and then you've realized, oh, that's the way to go. So, yeah, it's initiative time. So, give me some rolls for initiative, please.
Can I actually change the shape?
Oh, sure.
I suddenly realized a lion would be appropriate.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I am okay with that.
12. Oh,
17.
can I edit? Yeah.
Yeah. You guys should be able to change the number yourselves. If you can't, let me know and I can add it for you.
I got a 5 total for initiative.
Did you roll another one?
No, I rolled a 2.
You're slowly getting up there. We just need to do 18 more rolls. We'll get a 20 eventually.
Get there eventually. Okay. Give me a second while I got the stats for this coda. First roll with these new dice. What did I get? Not bad. Not bad. My goodness. And for the orcs. Oh my goodness. All right. And Brian, what'd you get?
I got 5.
5, right. Oh dear, put the wrong number in. Okay, so I think what's going to happen is we're going to go into a chase scene, acting on these initiatives, and we can do like a skill check challenge to see who catches up to the assailant first. This would be assassin. So it's going to be their turn first, and they're going to run. You see them just like take off into the trees, disappearing into the darkness. Crossbow in hand. And yeah, they're going to do that. They're just going to make an athletics check. How far they get. Okay. Put that. And then next up is the orcs. They're also going to run into the bush. You see 3 of them take off in that direction, running and jumping over logs and through bushes and are dodging around trees. Like this is easy for them. And they do about the same. They seem to be like keeping pace with the assassin. Up next is Sakara.
I'm going to give chase. So
All right.
I see prey. I'm also realizing I have no idea how to draw a running line. So,
Try it for the first time live on stream. It's
yeah,
the way to do it.
it'll work out. It'll work out.
So yeah,
so I'm
in
gonna
terms of
make
this
a-
chase, yeah, you guys know how to do skill check challenges.
So
Basically, sell to me what you want to try and do. If you're just going to chase, probably be athletics of some kind, which is what they just did.
She is not particularly clever. So, and she just sees something running, and all of her instincts, particularly now that she is a lioness, is just actively like, chase! Run, chase! So, she is... Actually, how far away is this thing?
It was. Let's have a look because even I'm not sure. From the. Oh my goodness. Sorry.
Dang
I
it.
just accidentally put it in the game.
So did I. Right when I was trying to get the ruler.
Damn it. That's fun. Okay. So from. Yeah, there
It's
you,
like
you got it.
175 feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
she's
yeah.
she's going to chase, like a double move, basically. But,
Okay. Yeah.
Your speed is a lioness. What's your
so
what's
50
your speed?
feet.
Oh wow.
50. That's it. And my athletics check is 15.
Okay, yeah, it's a pretty low DC at the start because this part of the woods is fairly well like tended to, so it's cleared of a lot of the debris and bracken and that type of stuff. And yeah, you start running in your lioness form, and you actually overtake the orcs who have started sprinting, and they see this lion run, and they just kind of double take at you as they're running full pelt through these woods as well. So we are technically off this map at the moment, but we can use it for in terms of like spacing and that type of thing. I think that'll be. I don't have a separate map for the woods. We could do a little bit more theatre of the mind, as it were. But yeah, up next is Bobo Loco.
All right.
You've just
I
seen
will-
Sakara transform mid-jump into a lioness and sprint into the woods.
How well do I know? Do I know Sakara?
Well, you basically know everyone in the Pride in some way or another.
Right.
I would say that the three of you are, I don't know, maybe should have had this
this is
chat
probably
before we
not
said
a
it.
surprise.
Not surprising, yeah.
Yeah. She's not cagey about it at all. So.
And I think part of being in a city like this, there's a degree of what's the word, talk and that type of thing. So it's like, oh, I heard she can change into animals, and they're like, that big one likes to steal things, and chambermaids and boys and that type of stuff. They're like, that little one, here he knocked out his commander in the army. You know, it's all like that sort of stuff. So
Right.
But
Okay.
seeing Sakara take off like that, it's like, oh, she's that's right, she can do that.
All right. So I will load my gun, which is, what did we discuss? A bonus action?
It would be loaded now.
It would be loaded. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going to run.
But yes, it would also be a bonus action.
Actually, are these trees giving him like a lot of cover?
Yes.
What if I ran?
He's technically off the map now.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna start shooting.
Okay.
As best as I can.
There's a group of orcs also kind of interposed
Yeah,
between
I'm
you
gonna
and-
try and not hit them as best as I can,
didn't
to
move
the
them
best
up,
of my
but-
abilities. All
I'm
right.
just gonna move you to where you would be if you ran. I think something like that. They would not necessarily be like clumped together like this.
Well, I only got a 10 to hit,
Okay.
which I'm guessing didn't hit him.
So yeah, you fortunately don't hit anyone else as you fire. But the loud crack goes off, and you see you with your passive perception, you see these big, intimidating hulking orc warriors kind of flinch at the sound. And the bullet kind of like flies off into the trees, and you see like a bit of bark just go and spray.
And I'll shout out, get on the ground, put your hands in the air. Cease and desist. Okay.
Give a right to remain silent. Wait, no.
Not till we catch them.
Yeah.
Right now, we want them to be noisy.
Wait, don't be silent, be loud. Right, and Quarthus, your turn.
So
Okay.
I thought you said that what we're supposed to do is stay with the queen, not run away. Is that right? Like
Your
that's our-
instructions were to protect the queen.
are there other people being left with the queen? Like, I don't want to run off. If my
Oh
main job
yes,
is-
yeah. There's the whole group of the Queen's Pride around them. So there's four at the moment, 4 Queen's Pride, and 3 orcs. They do seem to. They're just making sure that she's still, like, their ambassador's still alive, and they're also eyeing the woods at the same time.
Okay.
So
So it's totally cool if I run off. Like, that wouldn't be just like ditching my duty.
no, this would be well within the bounds of your duty. Now that you've
Okay.
like, if you wanted to make sure that the queen is safe before you leave, it's one thing. If it's entirely up to you what you want to do. But you think that chasing this assassin into the woods is also within the bounds of your what you're meant to do.
I would like to, before I go, walk over to where they are, to where the group of people are, sprinkle my dust of making people stealthy, that one that allows me to cast Pass Without a Trace,
Yep.
and make everybody in the area give a +10 on stealth check. So that way, if they're trying to get back to their base, nobody else can shoot at them. Like, it's easier for the queen and her guests and like the people in this area to be able to maneuver without getting shot at again.
Do you tell them what it is before you sprinkle it?
I'm going to say, this should make us... I need my voice. I haven't done the voice yet. Let's see. These particles shall make you unable to be seen by the visible eye a lot easier. Go, hide. And I sprinkle the stuff, and it sort of goes in the area. And I think the queen would know what it is. The visitor wouldn't, but...
Okay. It's not guaranteed the queen would know, but I think other members of the pride would. So they kind of just like nod, like, excellent. And they bundle the queen up, grab it, like one on each side, and start to trundle her down the path there. A couple of the others grab the ambassador and do the same. And the orcs kind of seeing that that everything's in hand here, turn their attention towards the woods and begin to run. So what radius does this affect?
I'll look that up in a second. But the other thing I want to do is I want to know whether I can use my bonus action, which normally allows me to help people, like to give them advantage because of my rogue class. If I'm going to be able to maybe shout something to give people a suggestion as to how to, run through the forest better. Like, avoid the ravine on the left.
Oh, right. Yeah, you could possibly do that. You can't really see what's in the woods at the moment. But once
are they woods that I would know?
Give me a retroactive history check just to see how acquainted you are with the palace grounds, or at least this area of it.
13?
13. Yeah, you know them relatively well. Not like the back of your hand or anything, but well enough that you know that there's like specific features. So yeah, you could say just keep an eye out for the for some of the ditches. There are some ruins in there. Some like not big ruins. It's just like fallen walls and crumbling old shacks and stuff from back like hundreds and hundreds of years ago when this was still a settlement rather than like a ground for a palace. So yeah, you say keep an eye out for fallen old ruins. Don't trip over them. So that can give like an advantage, you say, to
it's supposed to be advantage to an attack, but since we're doing a skill check, you're saying sell you on something. I'm like, I want to use as a bonus action, give Bobo Loco advantage on their next check, whatever it is, if they're running in that direction.
All right. So yeah, you have advantage on your next check. Good idea. All right.
And it's 30 feet that I can sprinkle that stuff. Anybody within 30 feet. So I can hit at most of the guards on both sides and the queen and the visitor, ambassador.
Okay. Yep. Good call. I'm going to just mark that down. I'll give them the ninja symbol. Just to indicate that they're going to be able to pass without a trace. So for those watching at home who might not have been watching last week, can you explain to them what this dust is again? Just
it was a magic item I had snuck into. I'd snuck into the final projects of the Arcanists and stolen one of their magic items, which was a belt pouch or a belt buckle that has dust in it. And once per day, I can cast Pass Without a Trace by sprinkling the dust, the embers and ashes around and saying a few words or something.
And it recharges at the dawn, I think we said?
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. It's just a belt buckle that kind of flips open, a kind of pseudo snuff box that has some of this dust in it, and then you just like throw it around and basically cast without a trace. Pass without a trace. The tongue twister. Alright. So the next up they're going to is the assassin. Oh wait, sorry. I'm totally skipping over your movement turn. Leave action, bonus action.
I moved. I moved my character 30 feet.
Okay. So yeah, the assassin's going to keep running through the forest, and then try and jump over some of the ruins and gain some ground. But they don't roll that great. And you find that you're actually kind of gaining some ground on them, on this individual, as they're trying to make their way through the forest. But they're just going to keep moving, double their speed, and just try and put as much distance between themselves and the party chasing them. Then the orcs are going to do the same. as they trudge through the forest, and they roll pretty well. They actually gain a little bit on this individual as they make their way through the forest, and it's starting to get a little bit darker in here. You see some mushrooms growing in spots, these bright orange looking things, and old rotten out logs that have fallen down. And you see some of these like cobblestone walls with vines growing up them that have make up like part of the old settlement that used to be here, but has since fallen into ruin once the city was built proper. But Sakara, it's your turn.
Having heard the note about the ruins, I attempt to take a shortcut by running up over the edge of the ruins and taking the high ground along the top of the walls, instead of going through the undergrowth with all the roots and stuff. Going after the sound impression.
So is that more of a dex check, or is that what you're going for? Or still athletics?
Sure. It might be more of a survival thing, because she's kind of banking on her knowledge and memory of this area, as well as like her ability to find the shorter way.
Sure, yeah. That works for me. Roll it up.
And that is a 17.
17, okay, yeah. So, coupled with your double move, so I'm kind of just going to give you your art. Yeah. That's more just like in terms of distance, not what you're actually running through or anything like that. You make some ground on the orcs. You get like ahead of them, and you close in on this individual with a roll like that. You can see as you get closer, it's a dark-skinned individual with pointy ears, and yeah, definitely like a short-cropped head of hair. Looks like they've ditched the crossbow at this point. Maybe it was weighing them down, and they're just trying to get as far away as possible. And they keep pumping their legs, trying to get away from you. But you're right behind them, and you can smell them. You can, with your lion senses, almost taste their sweat and fear.
I can't help myself, and I let it.
Yeah.
Make them pee themselves a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Not to let them.
Little.
Yeah. Just make it easier to track.
Okay, and Bobo Loco.
Okay, I'm wondering if I could swing a kind of intimidation check if I fire off another gunshot at this person as I'm running. $12.
To hit? Or this intimidation check?
Yeah.
Right. Well, are you shooting to hit, first of all? Or are you just kind of like firing in the air? Like...
I'm coming at you!
Yosemite Sam style, just bang, one shot, reloading. No,
they have bird accomplices.
Sorry?
Yeah.
They have bird accomplices. Shoot them.
Yeah, sorry. So you're kind of shooting at them, not with the intention to hit, but like to intimidate them into stopping running. So, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 12 total on the intimidation check.
Yeah.
All right. You can see they like turn their head as the bullet strikes a tree right next to them and peppers them with tree bark.
I'm going to say, there's no way you could run!
And they leap over a wall and continue running deeper into the bush. They seem to be a little bit worried by it, but not enough to like stop and put their hands in the air.
Can you outrun a speeding bullet?
Don't have to outrun the bullet, just have to outrun the aim.
Okay, so I'm just going to move you back a bit, Bobo, just to give you an idea of like where you are in terms of the chase. Because I'm going to assume that you moved your regular amount of movement
Yeah, as far
but
as
you
I
didn't.
could.
Yeah, but you didn't double move. What is it? 30 feet for a halfling still?
Yep.
Okay. I think it's
You're a monk, right? So you're
35.
35. Okay. So yeah, you can see everyone kind of pulling away from you a little bit, as you've kind of like stopped to aim and shoot after running for a bit. Sakara's lion form up in the ruins a little bit as they run along as well. But then we come to Quarthus.
I want to try and move through a part of the area that's more like harder to see. So I want to like maybe hope that they're going to circle around and maybe meet up with them going on a bit of a diagonal or something. So I'm going to run in a different direction in case they're trying to circle back around.
Right. Okay.
So at some point I may be able to do a stealth to surprise them, but right now I'm just double moving away.
All right. They seem to be running like directly into the forest, and you know that this forest is like there is like a fence on the other side. So like the way it works is that it's not like a big forest. It's kind of like what Hyde Park in London used to be like, I suppose. So it's like there's still like settlements around it, and the palace itself is it's still in the city proper, but it's not. It's hard to explain.
There's extensive grounds around it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Basically. So if they keep running in the direction they're going, they're gonna hit civilization again. It's not going to be the city, but it's going to be like some form of. But there is a fence on that side as well to indicate that this is Queen's grounds, so do not enter, that type of thing.
So I'm not going to be able to head them off. So I'll just take a quick look behind me to make sure everything's cool, and then run forward. So perception check of 14.
14? Yeah. So yeah, they've started to bundle the ambassador and the queen off. One on each side. The ambassador still seems to be walking, though seems to have lost quite a bit of blood. But everything seems to be under control here. You feel, and the orcs that stuck around have begun to move in the direction of the woods as they realize that everything here is safe. Yeah. So I'm going to move his back. So again, this is just in terms of like how far away you are from the main group and that type sort of stuff. It's not like an indication of where you are on this map specifically. It's just in terms of how close you're going to be to catch them, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So yeah, you double move as you begin to run, and the orcs kind of like catch up to you as well. And that's when the four of you enter the woods almost at the same time. Okay. Then it's the assassin's turn again. And they're going to keep running. As they dive over a little hedge. Okay. They dive over something, and when you expect them to pop back up, Sakara, they're not where you thought they were going to be. And in fact, you can't see them at all.
Can I smell them?
Right, because you are a lion right now.
I do get advantage on perception checks using smell right now.
Okay. So that's something you could try and return. I guess you do smell them, but where they are exactly, you're not sure. So their turn, the orc's turn, they're going to keep running, but they've also kind of lost track of them. They're going to try a survival check, which they kind of come to a stop roundabouts where like this person disappeared and like look for them, but they don't seem to have picked up the scent. Those other orcs are going to continue running as well. They're going to double move. Oh man. Okay. Gonna double move to try and catch up. And Bobo Loco, you hear footsteps pounding behind you. As you suspect there's you hear it and you hear the grunts and the vocalizations of the orcs close behind you.
I'd like to say that Priscilla, that turned out to be a really good running lion. So even though it was your first time, that was great.
I did have Google image search up in the another window.
That's okay.
That's how I do.
Okay, and then I believe it is Takara's turn.
Okay. How big is this thicket?
It was kind of just like a row of hedges with a tree and a fallen log behind it, and you saw them kind of like jump over that as they like went to dodge right, and you were like, oh, they're gonna like run right in front of me, and they've kind of just like dived over it and rolled, and you've gone to like stop and turn, and as you've like taken your eyes off them for a second, you've looked and they're not there anymore.
But like how big around is this area that?
Oh, I mean it's fairly big. You know what? I think at this point I'm going to take you over to a map.
But I do also want to take a sniff, and since I don't seem to see them, try and smell them, and hope that they did pee themselves a little.
All right, give me a perception check.
Sure.
See if you can just give me a pee check.
An advantage P check.
Yes.
Oh, a 20. That wasn't that.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely still smell them. Whether that's their urine or their sweat or their fear, you can smell them, and you're pretty
Can
sure
I pinpoint where they
somewhere.
are?
Yes.
Could be like coffee breath too, like we don't know what they had earlier.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You pick up the hint of something.
They ate some onions for lunch. That was their downfall.
So the turn order's all messed up now because I moved to a new map, but I've still got it here, and I don't know why it's not showing up for you. But anyway, add them in again real quick. Oh. All right, and then what's going to happen is there's going to be a round or two with Sukara on this map and a few orcs, and then next round Bobo will arrive, and then the round after that Orthus will arrive. Just in terms of where you were as you were chasing. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you get a ping from around here somewhere. You can see that popping up.
Okay. And we were coming in from the northwest over this log here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a couple of orcs kind of like spread out around you. They don't seem to be paying you any attention. Pardon me.
Okay.
I
am.
They're not even talking to you. They're just kind of talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to the lion?
I said they're not talking to you.
I know. I was thinking like, yeah, wouldn't it would be surprising if they were talking to the lion? Like,
Oh,
hey, lion, do you see them?
Mm-hmm.
Rah, 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 rah.
Can you vocalize in lion form, or is it like just growling and roaring? Okay.
It's just growling and roaring, yeah.
Parrots can talk, and lions cannot.
There you go.
I'm going to. I move the 50 over to here, and then I stop as if uncertain and swing my head around. But I am going to hold my action to pounce. Actually, maybe not the actual attack called pounce, but okay. I'm going to use my action to move closer to it when if I see the person pop up.
Sure.
That's
Okay.
my call action.
All right. And then Bobo,
Can you make me
but
large?
oh, my apologies. Yes,
I want to be a giant.
I'll try and remember to get a lion token for you this week. Might even steal the one that you did for this and plug that in there. Oh. My headphones just died. I cannot hear a thing.
That's a dingleberry. Matt is a dingleberry.
I found the guy and killed him, just so you know. In that time.
Still can't hear you.
That's canon.
Yep. Gave up all of their goods and also confessed the entire plot and the location to an unguarded treasure hoard. Good job.
They're actually working for the orcs, trying to start a war.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to make their negotiations better.
Sounds legit.
Yeah, trying to frame the Queen's God, the Queen's Bride.
I am trying to do that really difficult drawing of like somebody looking up, like Caitlin did there. Trying to do it with like elephant anatomy. Like I'm not so good at those extreme dynamic poses, anyways, and it's making it even harder. Not turning out good. I'm going to go back to the drawing people running through the forest.
Okay, so I'm back in action now. Sorry about that. Headphones
You
weren't
missed
even.
thrilling takedown.
Yeah, we beat
You
him.
killed them? Oh, wow,
Yeah.
well
Yeah,
done.
already.
We
We told us the location
captured.
of a treasure hoard.
Oh, my apologies. So this round, Bobo, you arrive on the scene, but that's basically your whole turn. Porthos isn't there yet. You keep moving. Then it is the creature's turn, and what are they going to do? Oh, pardon me.
Got you cornered. There's nowhere left to run.
Well, there is. They're in open wood, so they could run in like a lot of directions.
And maybe they can run underground. Maybe they're a burrower.
Hey.
Oof, Cass says that
There's
you missed so many
no-
natural 20s when you took your headphones off.
We've got you surrounded. They don't know. They don't know that that's not the truth.
There are any natural 20s. Oh dear. Okay. So I should give you a lay of the land a bit better. This is something I tend to forget when I'm running games. So this open area, well, I say open, you see some fallen logs. There's a tree here that's obviously been cut down. In fact, let me put chat over as well. Put the stream over so I can explain it to them at the same time. So yeah, it's a pretty open area. There's a couple of like little areas of like marshy wetland, like up on the north side there. A few trees that look like they've been cut down either for timber supply or building materials. There is like what was a large tree here, the stump of it still there, but it's long since dead. And yeah, there are some ruins on the north side and in the middle of the map, and on the south side there is like a pretty large thicket that is actually like a good 5 to 10 feet in the air. So there's a little bit of a drop from this southern green area to the base. And there's mushrooms growing out of basically anything that's even a little bit moist, like the tree stumps and a few other tree trunks there. And yeah, these ruins, they range in height from like 5 feet to 10 feet, and this is the one that you can smell this being's scent coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, you see the creature pop up from behind the wall and level a gun at you.
Using our own weapons against us.
Yeah, I'm going to use my held action to move closer.
Okay. So you move directly up.
I'm going to move directly next to, so like here.
Okay.
And I don't actually have the actions to do anything at the moment, but that's where I'll move.
Okay. So you see them pop their head up, level a gun at you, and as soon as you see them, you take off and run around that south edge of the tree there. And as you round that south edge, the weapon goes off. And sorry.
Do they get disadvantage for me being right next to them?
Sure. That sounds fair.
Cool.
So the first roll is not great. It's a 12 to hit. First one.
My AC.
Sorry, that is your AC?
No, that's not.
Oh, so
14 is
it.
my AC.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it you just moved too quickly for him. He wasn't ready for you to like run directly at him, and he fires, but you already moved from the spot when the bullet hits the ground. In quick succession, the heads of all the orcs whip up and face in your direction, in the direction of the gunshot, and they begin to move as well. So then it is their turn. I believe so they're going to move. To double check that they've got 30 feet as well. So they're going to basically just double move, and as they run, the weapons come out off their back, and they're big, giant, great swords. Just for anyone wondering about the silence, I'm moving my fake miniatures around a map. So that's their turn. They've moved up, and back on to Priscilla.
Okay. Going to basically back up a little bit and then run forward again to get a claw and a pounce going. Which for the lion is if I move at least 20 feet straight toward a creature and then hit it with a claw attack at the same turn, it must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. I haven't actually hit it yet, so let me try and hit it. Do so.
So here's a question for you. I'm guessing they get an attack of opportunity still? As you
Yes.
back
The
up?
gun?
Actually, yeah, you're probably.
So
They will get an attack of. If they want to swing at me.
well, that's what I mean. Something I've discussed with Caitlin, which might come up in a second, is that these, and historically, these pistols, they have like a metal cap on the butt of them, so they can be used as a club if you want to. So this guy is going to like kind of flip it around and then like swing at you as you move back. Mm-hmm. Whether he hits or not is another question, but. Okay. No, I roll a 4 and plus stuff. It's not gonna reach, but you back away, and as you do, you see him just kind of like flip the gun around and like lunge at you. But you're just too quick, and you've backed up enough to get away from him.
Okay. I did the 14 hit.
Does it? Give me this. Oh, it does not. You pounce on this character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I tried to.
yeah. I think what happens is as you run and jump, he kind of like ducks out of the way, and your paws come down with the claws out and try and strike at him, but they hit some metal on this studded leather armor, and it just like skims off. Mm-hmm. You were pretty close to hitting him, but it just didn't quite catch.
Mm-hmm. A snarl in frustration. Movement. Yep, I think that's it for me at the moment.
And I just realized that.
Oh.
What's up?
I am actually going to, frustrated at my inability to get this going, to hit him. You see the eyes flicker, the golden eyes of the lion flicker, and then like start to tinge red.
Yes.
And this deep rumble, and I start raging.
Because you're a lioness that is now raging.
I'm a very angry lioness.
Yeah.
Sure.
Foam at the corners of your mouth.
No anger.
Yeah. I love that visual. It's really cool. Okay. Then, Bobo Loco, you have your turn.
I suppose I will just move as much as I can.
Okay. There is a bit of a log in the way, but just give me athletics or dex check to see if you can leap over it and not have it impinge your movement.
Oh, I got a 25.
Yeah, you just
A backflip over it.
yeah. Don't even put a hand on it. You just like yeah.
Just a straight backflip.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Oh, okay. Nah.
Monk stuff.
Ah.
Can't see.
And I will use my bonus action to reload my gun.
Okay. Yeah, as you're moving, you do your backflip midair.
As
you're
I'm
like,
backflipping.
you land, and you just cock it, and you just keep running.
I'm going to say, drop your weapon! You're under arrest.
Okay. And then, Quartus, you arrive this turn on the map. So next turn, you'll have full round, as well as the rest of those orcs. And then it's the assassins go. They're going to take out a short sword and take 2 swipes at you with it. Priscilla or Sakara. First hit is natural 1.
I mean, to be fair, you would be pretty scared that a lion was trying to eat you.
Well, yeah, you can smell the literal fear in the air. The little tinge of
Tastes
pee.
delicious.
Yeah.
That doesn't taste delicious.
No, it does not. But yeah, he whiffed with both his attacks.
Oh man,
The fear is definitely in him.
that makes both of us, I guess.
Okay, these orcs are gonna move up. This one is going to leap over the wall and make an attack. Greatsword. Okay, so okay. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Oof. Okay. So you see this greatsword just kind of like as this orc just like leaps over the wall, brings the sword down as they're coming down and strikes at them, and hits them pretty hard. Didn't realize how hard these guys hit actually. They're like half challenge rating, I think it was. But I'm just gonna say, damn. That's a spicy.
CR is not always a great indicator.
No, it is not.
Especially with like the orc racial ability.
Oh, where they can move their speed.
Or is
Well,
that happen? You know, it's like that toughness thing where when they
Oh,
hit
yeah,
zero,
when they
you
drop-
roll upon,
Yeah.
and still keep going.
No, these are just straight out of the monster manual, and it
Okay.
doesn't have anything else on there that I can see. But they can just like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So they're aggressive, which my understanding is that they can move up to its speed towards a hostile creature that it can see as a bonus action. So they still have... Whoa, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this guy's going to attack as well. Damn. Okay, so yeah. That's a pretty hard hit. So the one is 5, 10, 3. And it's also going to attack. I couldn't read that. The only thing about these new dice is that it's black on black to read, so it makes it a little bit difficult. 19.
Your spinal tap dice.
Speaking of spinal taps,
None more goth. None more black.
Okay. Sakara. These 3 orcs have just run in and like started attacking this would-be assassin. What would you like to do?
I would like to repeat my attempt to... Basically, I'm doing like a tight spin and a runaway and then come back again to try and pounce. I want to get this guy prone!
All right,
So,
give it a shot.
if you want to take an opportunity attack, that's fine.
Here's the thing, like I want to, but like I think he's engaged with 3 orcs right now, so I don't know if he would notice that you've moved away. I mean, the rules say he would.
He'd take any opportunity he could get. He's like, I need a win here.
Depends on if he has other uses for his reaction too.
That is actually not a bad roll. That's a 15 to hit this time.
Yeah, that'll hit.
So you take 6 points of piercing damage. And can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
What is that for this thing? Compass 3 is 5. 4. Man. I have a better con save as myself than as a.
Oh, really? Don't you
So
keep
I'm not
your...
sure if that.
No,
Yeah,
your physical,
I
your physical
don't know if I
traits
keep the better
change.
ones.
Yeah, you keep the... Ugh. Druids, man.
Yeah.
I know you keep your mental stats, but I wasn't sure about...
Oh no! Well,
I think your physical ones carry over. No?
if the
You
creature
assume
has
the
the same
base hit point.
proficiency you and the bonus, and use the creature's bonus instead of yours. That's weird. Well, I mean, it's not a huge difference. It's like 2, so
Okay.
I guess we'll
So-
see if. And either way, I like it would have been like either a 6 or an 8. So I don't think that
Oh, okay.
helps any.
Yeah, that's a fail.
Yeah.
So you take some poison damage.
Mm.
Look it up. So yeah, you take 6 piercing damage, which is halved anyway, right? And then yeah, you take 12 points of poison damage as you feel the poison just like hit your bloodstream. How are you doing?
Fine.
Fine. Okay. That didn't knock you out of animal form.
No.
Okay. Right. So yeah, that's the attack of opportunity. As it hits you with the short sword, you got a little bit poison, but now you get to make your for attack roll.
I failed. I
Oh, you
rolled
did?
the same thing as last time. Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
got a 14.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, 15 is the magic number you need, unfortunately. It's so close, but it's not quite. So yeah, Bobo, you can see some fighting behind this crumbled wall. You can see the head of the assailant, but also this lion form kind of pouncing and jumping around, as well as the 3 orcs hacking and slashing away.
All right, I'm going to run up and jump onto the wall.
On top of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to shoot straight down at this guy.
All right. First of all, give me a dex check.
Well,
Okay. Pretty good. Yeah, you kind of like run up it and get to the top, and then kind of stand your full height and aim down at him. So give me an attack roll.
All 3'5".
Yeah. You're about head height now.
oh no, I got a 1.
Oh no. Oh no.
We're doing so well, guys. Got this.
Okay. So starting from the left, that orc there on the left, and then it's going to go south and then across. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. On a 5 or 6, it's going to hit the dirt. But a 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's going to hit one of your.
Am I rolling this?
You know what? Yeah, you roll it for me. I think that's fair.
6.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It just hits the dirt. But again, you see that flinch from the orcs there. They are like, you suspect they're a little bit afraid of this technology. Okay, and then Quarthus.
All right.
You hear a gunshot go off, and you can see where the action's taking place.
I spot myself on the map.
Top left, very top left.
I can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 5, 60. All right. Yeah, I can't do anything. So I've run some more this round.
So you just run yourself into cover?
Yeah, like I'm trying to maintain, like, if I show up, I'm only going to be good if I get a sneak attack, so I'm just trying to run quietly through sneaky areas.
Okay.
Are you Naruto running?
No, I'm very elegantly, like, I'm more like the ballerinas in Fantasia, like, so I'm like tiptoeing.
All right.
Pirouetting occasionally.
Yeah, when you have to dodge around something, it's more of a pirouette around.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. So this would be assassin. Their turn again. They are going.
Oh, and as a free action, I want to say, just kind of whisper, like say it loudly enough that people might hear but not know where it's coming from. Just saying, we want them alive.
Just reminding certain people.
Yep.
Do you say that in common?
Actually, I think it's more important I say it in Orcish.
Okay. Okay. Just curiosity there. Curious to know. All right. Yeah, the would-be assassin going to, while they're engaging with these orcs and trying to like dodge out of the way of the attacks, see them reach around to grab something on their belt, and they throw it on the ground, and this cloud of smoke just billows out. You're going to try and make a stealth roll to see if they can get away from you. They rolled a 13, so I can't remember what your passive perceptions are.
Mine's 15.
15, yeah. So you can see the shadow move through both of you as they try and disengage. The orcs, however, kind of just start to like wave their hands in front of their face. They're like coughing and spluttering. Like the weapon's still in front of them in case they need to strike, but yeah, they don't make an attack of opportunity. Neither do you, Bobo, but Sukara, you do.
Okay.
As they move away from you. Also, Bobo, I think you're a little bit too high and you don't have a melee weapon out anyway.
Yeah, I don't think I was in base to base with him.
No, but it kind of does, but like because of the height, you're still outside of base to base contact. So, an 11.
Although I do. Actually, let me double check if this applies for any attack or if it's only for.
Okay.
I do gain advantage on attack rolls because of pack tactics. So let me.
Okay. Yeah, you're next to an ally.
Which I probably should. Yeah.
Oh no.
My last rolls on this, like every single attack roll I've made on this has been a 14, 14, 11, and 7. Oh.
You think it's got something to do?
I'm just so angry.
The roll 20. The roll 20 roller is still like it's either really good or it's just not great. So yeah, you can see them moving through the smoke, and then they pop out the other side as they try and get lost in the confusion. So.
By the way, I've stopped drawing my character doing stuff because this is just what I see so far over the last 4 rounds. It's just trees and stuff.
So then it's the orcs' turn. These guys are just going to cough and splutter and try and clear the air. These ones are going to... They're just going to try and move up as fast as they can. That's as far as they get. And yeah, back to Sakara.
Okay, I'm going to run after this one, which should not be too hard. Actually, well, first, she kind of takes a second to focus and shakes her head, shaking off some of the blood. Then I'm going to use a bonus action to spend my spell slots to heal myself for 7 points. And then...
Can you cast as an animal?
It's not a cast, it's a feature.
Okay.
Specifically for moon druids. Okay. And
so I was curious because I haven't played with druids too much, so I'm not too familiar with.
No, normally you can concentrate, but you can't cast as an animal.
Okay.
But this is just to heal.
Okay.
In animal form, and she is going to and go to attempt to attack one more time. Cause
you see a twitch of the head as they start to look over their shoulder, and then a little bit more fear in the air, i.e. more urine as they try to run a little bit faster.
Actually, I wonder if maybe I would be better to sure. Okay. Oh, yay, finally. Okay. That was a 22.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that hits. So what happens?
So they need to make a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay.
And I'm still will roll damage in a second. So 7 slashing damage.
So... Not showing up. It's a 4. It's a 4.
Oh, looks like a 1.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not showing up. I think because it's trying to focus on something in the background. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it's a 4. So no bonus. You land on their back and push them into the dirt. And then you get to make your
I
damage.
don't, because I already used my bonus action to heal,
Oh,
but they are prone.
Okay.
At the moment.
All right. Do you have them pinned? Like, do they, if they wanted to try and escape from this, is it a opposed strength test?
No,
or something?
they're not restrained.
Okay. But they are prone. Okay, I see.
They are prone. Yes.
Very cool.
And so that is it for me.
All right.
I just have them on their back, and they're just snarling like little gobbets of lion saliva flying in their face.
Yeah. They just they can hear the roar, like the growling in their ear, and they're very, very worried right now. So, Bobo Loco.
All right. I'm going to run down the wall and then jump down. And I'm done trying to fire this gun. I'm just going to turn it around and smack him in the head with it.
All right.
Yeah.
Mean attack roll.
13?
13 to hit?
Yes.
That does not hit. Oh, wait. Advantage?
Advantage, yeah.
Advantage?
If you're making
Yeah,
a melee attack.
Oh,
on a
well,
prone
in that case, 24 to hit?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
It's only disadvantage if it's a ranged weapon attack, isn't it?
Yeah.
4 damage. But
Okay.
then I'm
Wait,
going
only 4 damage?
Yeah, it's only a 1d4. Wait, no, that's
it
an
should be-
unarmed strike. But I'm hitting him with my gun.
Right, which is a club, basically.
Yeah. I should probably add that. But anyway, I'll just do the damage for my short sword for now. And that's 9 damage.
Okay.
So I just pistol whip him. And then I'm going to use a key point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
Okay.
So I'm going to hit him, and then I'm going to punch him, and then I'm going to headbutt him.
On the ground, you have to...
You just see this little happen that come in between the legs.
Yeah.
The line.
That's a 19 and another 24
Yeah,
for
they
those
both
hit.
hit.
And then that's 11 damage
Total?
total.
All right, so you, with this lion on its back, and it's being pummeled and further into the mud by this halfling, and having been attacked by a group of bloodthirsty orcs, this figure laying prone on the ground simply says, "Okay, all right, you have me," and then they just kind of throw their sword to the side.
All right, I'm going to take out my manacles off my belt,
Mm-hmm.
slap them on his wrist. Yeah, I'm taking you in.
God.
You've got to answer to the queen for this.
I move to bite his face. And my jaws start to close gently around his face.
I'm a bit whoa. I'm gonna pull him out and be like, all right, settle down then. That's enough of that.
Okay.
And realizing that the chase and the fight is over, the lioness gets up and slinks away and sulks.
All right. So you have this figure prone on the ground, manacled hands behind their back. They are laying there as you transform back into your regular form, and the rest of the group kind of moves up around, and you.
May I investigate him?
Yeah. Yep. You can move up as well. There'll be one little thing that happens before you do that, though.
I do not actually drop the shape, I just drop the rage. But
Oh, my apologies. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay there.
I made you small, but you want to be big.
No! I do.
One of the more feminine-looking orcs steps forward, and in broken common, will point at the prisoner and look at the three of you and say, "This one, ours. We take.
No, I'm sorry. He's on our land, so we're taking him in. He's in our jurisdiction.
Im attack. Ah. Us.
Yeah, but, he's on the Queen's land, so he's going to the Queen's prison.
And you must understand that if you're looking, the fact that it was your ambassador, it was most important that we are the ones who are impartial in meting out justice. Because we don't want you to feel bad about, if they need to be killed or if they don't need to be killed. Maybe there's something that we can work together and you can have input, but we don't want you to be, we don't want the blood on your hands. Put it on ours.
So, I need to double check. Are you saying this in common or in Orcish?
Have they spoken any common? Because they've been there for a few days.
This is the first time, and it was quite broken.
I'm going to speak in Orcish then.
Okay. I need some kind of persuasion check then to see if you can convince them.
All right.
Can I aid by being intimidating?
Yeah.
Like we're taking him, or else.
Yeah. Okay. So you hear this low growl coming from Sukara behind you as they look up at the form. So roll with advantage.
Okay, with advantage, I get an 8.
Really? Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not very persuasive.
So yeah, they move to this one moves to pick up the assassin. Just grabs him by the arm and like rips him up onto his feet.
You didn't catch them. We caught them. It's our jurisdiction.
Don't make this an international incident, all right? I don't want to be in a fight with you. Let's just take him back together.
Kind of like growl and just we take, and they push this figure ahead of them as they move back towards that green area that we started in.
Soup's growl starts to rise, and when they start to push, she will keep pace. She's not going to let them just walk ahead with the prisoner. So she's going to basically like corral prisoner on one side.
They've only just started to move them, so if you want to try anything else, now would be the chance. But if you're happy to like follow them as they move back towards where you started from, that's a different story.
Bobo's going to pull his gun out and point it at him.
Okay.
Be like, don't make me use this on you, because I will.
All right, intimidation check with advantage. As you see, they kind of stop and they look a little bit frightened at that.
13.
Okay. The DC for intimidation with a pistol was a lot lower because they're very
scared of it.
They're frightened of these weapons. Not just like what they can do, but also what the noise that it makes and everything. It's you're not sure what it is, but they don't like it, and they stop and they look really unhappy. They kind of like side eye each other, and then they'll just like push the assassin forward as they fall to the ground. And then the lead one
together, yeah.
The lead one will point the sword at you and be like, just kind of look at you as they sheath it. But that's where we're going to put a pause on the game for tonight. As you've managed to successfully capture a would-be assassin. You're not sure what sort of damage they've wrought. If they were after the Queen or after the Orc Ambassador. But this is the first steps into what will be a multi-part adventure. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed running it for you.
I did. Oh.
Yeah.
To say that I had a hard time catching up with you guys, so I didn't get enough role playing time in. So can I just have like a couple of seconds?
Sure.
All right, that was my contribution. My elephant is just out of breath.
And I am sorry about that. I was trying to show, like, they ran off into the forest, how the chase was going to happen and all that sort of stuff.
No. I get it. Not every adventure is built for every character. Sometimes, the barbarian is like oh, riddle, or the slow character is like, oh, chase.
But yeah, hopefully
although as a rogue, I think you're just playing quite unlucky today.
I think it was just because I stayed far away and I don't have you guys all have extra movement as a monk and a lion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just have regular movement.
So yeah, we'll pick up from there next week. I don't know if what was your favorite part, everybody? You would
Shooting a gun while abusing my authority.
I enjoyed that as well. I enjoyed Bobo Loco's loco behavior, and I enjoyed the drawing of the running lioness and Bobo Loco in perspective.
Lots of perspective action going on.
Lots of perspective action, yeah.
I do like these scenic pictures you've drawn, Brian. I wasn't keeping an eye on the canvas the whole time, but this one here looks particularly good.
Thanks. It's fun to draw the wilderness.
Right.
I think I enjoyed role-playing a lion.
Just like slowly putting your mouth around the face of this. As a cat might.
It's eat time? It's eat.
Yes. So yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. Those of you that have stuck around since the start, I hope you like the new intro screen. Thought it'd be nice to include some of the artwork that Brian's created for the Halon adventure. Give you something more interesting to look at while you're waiting for the adventure to begin. So you're welcome, I guess. Yeah. And excellent. Thanks for joining us again. And God, thinking up a catchphrase at the end is the hardest part, isn't it?
Yes.
Shrugs.
Magical something marker, I don't know.
Make mine magical.
Yes. Make mine mark magical.
Suddenly you hear the lawyer alerts.
a email appears magically in my inbox. Please cease and desist. All right. But yeah, thanks a lot, everyone. See you next week. And yeah, take care. Bye.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.